Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Podcasting and streaming around the globe, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Today, coming to you from the 46th Annual Corvette Chevy Expo at the Galveston Island Convention Center. Today's show brought to you by Mecum Auctions Houston at NRG Center, April 4th through the 6th. Just ahead, more guests from this weekend show. Jeff has a feature on 5 futuristic cars from the 1950s, along with this weekend's cruise-ins around the area. Just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Seekin. And we drug along with us today. Mr. David Ainsley, our chief engineer and IT director and helper and good deed doer, all of those good things.
What a all-around great guy.
All of that too. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today from the convention center. Is the sun shining? You know,
it's peeking
through. We can kind of see out there, but we can't see shenanigans.
We do know that it is daylight. We do know that.
We can see that much.
I don't. That's all the shenanigans that I pulled back in the 70s.
Well, tomorrow is
tell.
what? Tomorrow is?
Tomorrow is
You said
Sunday.
shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Think about it. Think.
It's a musical group somewhere.
Even my mother knows what tomorrow is.
St. Patrick's Day.
All right. Well, needless to say, I don't really celebrate. I know, but I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Have you polished your Blarney Stone?
Because you have to remember the name Armstrong is Scottish. And from what I understand, there's a lot of them that they didn't like one another.
Is that like the Hatfields McCoys?
Kind of. Well, not really, but kind of. Anyway, doesn't make any difference about that. We have another in-studio guest. In-studio meaning our remote studio.
Remote studio. And he's got he's got 2 vehicles here.
Who is he?
We're talking with Dan Crisp.
Okay.
He's got a 99 C5 here. And he has an 80 model C3 here on exhibit.
Oh, boy.
So he's a twofer. Got a
Are
twofer.
they inside or outside? In the lobby or in the
They're both inside.
Both inside here.
Yes.
Where's the C5?
They're both right over there in the corner.
Do you have a black cover over your battery?
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding. Where did you get that? Did you buy it or did you make it?
Online.
Online?
Yes, sir. Online.
You're going to give me all the information on
absolutely.
that.
So what color is it? You got 2 over there.
I have a red 99
Right.
C5 and a white 80 C3.
Okay, so they're right next to you. Yeah,
You know who he sounds like, Morris? He sounds like Tim Spell. You have Tim Spell's.
Yes, he does.
You have Tim Spell's voice.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
He's a newspaper guy, so.
He's got 5 warrants out.
He used to be the automotive editor for the Chronicle for decades. Anyway, so it's a compliment.
Yes, it is.
Well,
And,
I'd like to talk about the C3. I'm sorry, the C3.
Anything you'd like to talk about?
The C3 has been in the family since it was new. My mother bought it in Florida in 1980, and it turned out not to be an old lady car.
Uh-oh.
So she kept it for a couple of years and gave it to my brother. And he lived here and used it as a daily driver for about 2 years, decided to move to Kentucky. And he moved what we call in Kentucky up a holler, if you know what that is.
A holler.
Yeah,
A holler.
A holler.
Up
Yes,
a holler.
yes,
A valley type, yeah.
And it was hard to get in and out, so he didn't drive it much. And it sat in his garage a lot. And then about 12 years, he had cancer. And he didn't drive it at all for 12 years. It sat in the garage for 12 years. And when he passed, I went and got it and had to fight my sister-in-law over it. She didn't want to give it up. But and then that was right before COVID. So I worked from home. So I was able to go out in the garage and do a lot of work during COVID for that. It's about 7 months.
Working from home?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Every time I drive it, I think my mother sitting there driving it, my brother.
Or your brother. And
they both passed away. And so it's a lot.
You got a
of
connection.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How wonderful is that, though?
It's great.
So did that car fuel your passion for your Corvette stuff?
Well, I had 2 Corvettes before. In 1982, I bought an 80 and had that. And then when the 84s came out, I bought an 84.
You're a sucker for punishment, aren't you? You like that light wallet feeling. I can tell.
Well, unfortunately, when I got married, I had to sell the 80. So I was down to 1, had a baby, had to sell the 84. So I didn't have one until about 4 years ago. So I went through a long time without a Corvette.
Now, how old is that baby?
She's 37 now.
Yes, I can relate to that. Most definitely.
But I love I'm with the Space City Corvette Club also, and we do a lot of good things in the area.
Yeah.
And but I was offered once. Don't know if the guy was serious, but at a show, guy came by, had a lot of gold chains, heavy gold chains, and he said, "I'll give you $30,000 for it." And I said, "No, I've been in the family." He says, "I'll give you 40." I said, "No."
I got a big family.
He says, "One last time, I'll give you 50 for it." I said, I was on the verge, but I said, "No, it's been the family. I can't do that." So it's one of those priceless things to me. I wouldn't take.
Is that the one that's over there that has the cloth interior?
No, it's leather interior.
It's a leather interior.
It's white.
There's one over there in that corner that has a cloth interior, and I can't. That's all that stood out to me. Because you rarely see a Corvette with a cloth interior.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
No, it's white exterior, red interior.
Gotcha.
All original, except for some of the peripherals I've put on. Let me tell you a little bit about the 99. When we joined the Space City Corvette Club, they do a lot of little fun runs. And we line up 30, 35 Corvettes and going down the freeway. My wife said, "Why don't you sell the white one?" Because it's just a show car. "Why don't you sell the white one and get one we can have some fun with?"
Driver, yeah.
All I heard was, "Why don't you get one we can have some fun with?"
Exactly. I like the way you think.
We know your type.
So we got the red one, and we take it out. I'd show it too, but we take it out on weekends and have some fun with it. So she's happy with that. She says it's hers. I let her think
That's
that.
okay.
I let her
That's
think
okay.
You know she's watching right now.
No, she's
probably over
listening.
here.
Yeah, she's
Around
listening
the
and watching
corner.
this
You
show
scared me
right
there
now.
for a second.
Well, she could be.
She's around here somewhere.
Okay. Because you know what?
Because she's going to be interviewed
We're
next.
on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can edit that part, right?
That'd be Mars.
Yeah. Next week we can edit that part, but the live,
What's her name?
First name's Dan.
No, her name.
Oh, her name is Mary.
Mary.
Uh-huh.
Mary.
Very crisp. Where are you?
So you're showing here?
Yes, sir.
What made you decide to show here?
Well, when I got the white one and put a lot of work into it, my brother-in-law used to show his Corvette back in the 80s, and he said, "Why don't you start showing it?" So I went to a show and actually won first place with it.
And
in
you
class.
got the bug bit
And
you.
the bug bit me.
Yeah,
Right.
I know that.
Right.
Yep.
Another interesting thing, if you have the time, is during the year I do Santa Claus. I grow the beard and I've got the costume and I do Santa Claus. So I take the white one out sometimes in full costume and I drive through Pearland, I drive through Alva.
Oh,
yeah.
how fun.
And people are just waving and taking pictures, and it's really a hoot doing that.
This is Santa Claus. Right here.
I start the
That's
beard
it.
in about July, so after that. But
Okay.
and then this year I took the red one out and did Santa Claus in the red one, and did the ho 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 and Merry Christmas and all this stuff, and people just eat that stuff up. It is so much
Does your
fun.
wife dress up as Mrs. Claus and go with you?
She did one time, and I can't convince her to do it again.
Why? Don't know.
I don't know. I guess because she thinks Mrs. Claus is kind of old and she doesn't want to be seen as being that old or whatever. She's not old, but she's a beautiful lady. But I'm going to talk her into it.
Okay.
If you need some help, let us know.
Yeah.
We're good arm
If we
twisters.
had cameras, I could show you some pictures. But
Well, we're good. We're good right now. So how long have you been with the Space City Corvette Club?
about a year and a half.
Oh, that's all?
Yes, sir.
They've got a lot of new members down there, don't they?
We pick up a lot of new members here.
Yeah. Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, I could understand that. I mean, this is the area for Space City cruisers, NASA area, that sort of thing.
It's actually Space City Corvette Club.
I'm sorry, Space City Corvette.
Cruisers.
I got schooled on that a minute ago.
Yeah.
Cruisers are different.
See, I would have never said that.
No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have said anything, would
Yeah,
you?
probably not.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry. Okay. Space City Corvette.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this your first club?
Yes, first club I've ever been in, yes.
All these years, you've owned Corvettes, and you're just now into a club.
Right.
Why? Why did it take you so long?
I can't say. I ran into AJ at a show. I wasn't a member. I ran into AJ at a show, and he said, "Why don't you join the club?" And it took me about another 6 months after that, but I ran into him again at another show, and he finally convinced me to join.
There you go.
I'm not much of a joiner, but it's a worthwhile organization. We donate a lot of money to EquiSearch, and it feels good to help the community.
So you live in the area. Did you drive them both, or you trailer them in?
I drove one, and my son-in-law volunteered to drive the other.
Okay.
Can't imagine that.
Yeah.
A chance to drive a Corvette.
I called him about a month ago and said, I need somebody to drive the Corvette.
Me?
And he said, yeah, I'll do it. So I followed him. He's driving down the road, and he's got his hand up, and he's looking around like how cool he is.
Yeah.
Did it rain yesterday?
No.
Did you move in yesterday?
I came in Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh, boy.
So it was open for you to come in Thursday?
Right. They let us come in Thursday morning.
Well, that's nice.
We have 34 cars, almost a third of the cars here. So they give us a little extra.
Little leeway here and there. Yeah.
Well, we know about move-ins, don't we, Mars? Woo! Yeah. We have been attending Autorama with the show for quite some time.
Autorama, Auto Show.
Yeah. Yeah, Houston Auto Show. But at any rate, well, it's great to talk to you, and we shall meet again.
Okay, I appreciate the opportunity.
Because AJ is twisting our arm to come to the spring event.
He's great. He's a spokesperson.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Right.
And then, we got to make the fall show. I'm going to have you guys down to the fall show. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You bet.
Yeah. We'll have to run it. We'll see each other. Yeah. We'll be over there.
Thanks,
I need
Dan.
to get that information on that battery cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
I'll
and if
find
you go over there and yours is missing,
Okay.
Then you'll know.
You know where to look.
Yep. All right. Thank you, sir. Dan
Thanks,
Crisp
Dan.
with the Space City Corvette Club. Mm-hmm. God. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. And a new daily podcast is available from this show from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after these messages.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, Texas, April 4th through the 6th at NRG Center, featuring 1,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, trucks, customs, and more. Broadcast on Motor Trend TV and streaming live on Max. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. I want to give a shout out to Brad Thompson with God's Garage who's listening. And he said, good show today.
Thank you, Brad.
So what are you saying, Brad? Is it a good show today or is it just all the rest of them suck?
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, there's that. So, but we love you, Brad. Thank you very much.
Thanks for subscribing, everybody out there. You got to subscribe because Mike and I are getting email hits of the new folks that are subscribing to the show. We appreciate it. We're trying to put together some kind of a list that we can kind of mention names.
And we're not going to sell your email address. We promise not to do that.
But we will mention you on the air, and thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah.
Have you subscribed?
Good answer. Okay. Good answer.
She says no. He says
we're
yes.
selling subscriptions to the Sunday Journal. Come on, join up. Teasing, of course.
You big tease.
I am that.
Are you
Hold
set?
on. No, I'm not set up. I'm not paying attention.
I'm going to fix that for you, Jeff.
I know.
Not today, though.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, the address here is info@inwheeltime.com. See, there's the logo down there underneath, and over here behind us.
Back yonder.
We thought that we would kind of double dip today because anybody could have a blue curtain up, but only we could have the In Wheel Time logo behind us. So we want to make sure that you know that we are in Wheel Time. All right, time now for this hour's feature. Jeff has some sort of thing about these 50s, 5 futuristic cars of the 50s.
Yeah.
He's going back to the future.
Hit me up.
Okay, well, here we go. Life in the 50s was all about embracing the future, or at least preparing for it, equal parts of excitement and terror, Michael. All of that came through the decades of wildly futuristic concept cars, and there's just a few of them that I picked out. This first one is called a Lincoln Futura. It is predicted that the Futura of the American automobile, get it, Futura, future, but not exactly. Over the decade after it made its debut, the legendary Hollywood car builder Chuck Barris transformed this exact car into something called a Batmobile for the 60s TV show based on the comic book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The next one we have is called the GM Firebird 2. It's the second of 4 turbine-powered concept cars, nicknamed Firebirds. Firebird 2 was designed as a 4-seat family car complete with a semi-self-driving characteristics. There you go with AI. Along a stretch of road with wires embedded in the pavement, it could theoretically, Michael.
No, it'd be theoretically.
Follow the preordained routes. And then coming up next.
Did you say preordained?
Preordained routes. I didn't even write that.
Preordained routes.
Yeah.
That's a weird way of saying that.
Well, maybe they used them in the convent. I don't know. The Ford X2000 designer Alex Tremelius counts among.
Are you sure that's the way you pronounce his name?
Tremelius.
Tremelius.
Of as many creations as like the Tucker 48, as well as the Flying Saucer. It really drew the Flying Saucer alien thing of World War II and the government into the there you go. That's scary. His stylings tended to be straddled a fine line between genius and insane, but it's better than the X. This is the best X2000 that you will see from Ford. The next one we have, my favorite.
Damn, look at the Dagmars on that thing.
Let's talk about that. Another one of Harley Earl's projects, the Cyclone took Jet A's
he
design.
obviously was very much into the Dagmars.
I think he was. He was a leg man.
No, he was
also
not
far more literal than most of the concepts. Comes from those aren't Dagmars, by the way. It resembles the nose cone of a fighter jet.
Oh, sure. Okay. That's what you say.
Actually hides small radar units.
Because they're not chrome. That's the
I
difference.
am not buying into that, baby.
Small radar
That's a black
units.
brassiere right there if I ever saw
Sort of
one.
a primitive crash detection design.
Crash detection.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. That's what those things are, crash detections.
Or whatever. Okay.
Crash detectors.
The next one and the final one, thank goodness, is the Ford Nucleon.
The Nucleon.
Everybody in the future will be driving a nuclear-powered car, so they say, or maybe not. The Nucleon was one of the more exercised of anything else serious intent of the design. They wrote it, I didn't. Ford's idea was to show that the vehicles might look like once nuclear reactors with very small enough to produce power in the back of that.
And they took the Dagmars off.
They took the Dagmars off. So there you go. Those are your 5 concepts.
I watched yesterday a deal that Jay Leno did on the Corvair truck.
Oh, yeah. I've
yeah.
seen
and it was the
that.
Corvair 95. And it was the truck that had the side gate on it.
Yep.
And I guess that it was somebody's good idea at General Motors that they needed to do this. You know, it was the same Corvette motor and everything else, or Corvair motor that was in there. And that's what that thing reminded me
Well,
of.
we see those at Autorama. The Corvair Club has those
Yeah, I know.
pickup style. They're kind of groovy.
Really?
Groovy.
You think that?
I like it.
what he
yeah.
said, groovy.
I like the unusual.
You know,
on that.
and the funny thing about that is that is a forward-driven machine. So, in other words, the engine's in the back. So, to give it more space in the back to be a truck,
Right.
they put the cab of it in front of the front axle.
Right. It's like
so
almost
you're
like-
hanging out there.
almost like a cab over.
Yeah.
But
without
it's
the
not
engine,
a cab
because
no,
the
it's-
engine's in the back.
It's further out.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and he showed basically where he sat was right over the wheel.
You know that one of those that Jeff was showing, that maybe it was that last Ford, it was like that. It was like the front wheels were behind the cab
Yeah, yeah.
completely.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's hanging out there. Huh.
Hanging.
Yeah.
Hanging.
So talk about crash protection. You're it.
Yeah, buddy.
I am going to do some news stories because I have some good news stories here today.
You said you
And
had
I
something coming up.
And I haven't had a chance to get to them. Ford Motor Company is going to pay $365 million to resolve U.S. allegations it violated a federal tariff law by misclassifying and understating the value of hundreds of thousands of its Transit Connect vehicles. Remember those little bitty ones?
Yep.
They stopped making them
Yep.
just recently. Justice Department said the settlement resolves allegations that Ford devised a scheme to avoid higher duties by misclassifying cargo vans imported from Turkey from April 09 to March 2013. I did not know that those things were made in Turkey. The government said the settlement is one of the largest customs penalty settlements in recent history. Way to go, Ford. This story from Automotive News. 13 out of 14 driver assist systems received a marginal or poor score in a new Insurance Institute for Highway Safety rating system designed to assess system safety and driver focus. The ratings, which test systems for driver monitoring, involvement, and encouragement of safety feature usage, were released Tuesday. The Lexus Teammate with Advanced Drive was the only system to receive a rating of acceptable. Tested systems from General Motors, Nissan, Ford, BMW, Genesis, Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, Volvo, and a second system from Lexus all received ratings of poor or marginal.
Wow.
So driver
not good.
beware.
Yeah.
No, it's not, because people spend a lot of money. Oh, look at my car, it drives itself.
Well,
No, don't do that.
I noticed General Motors doesn't have that commercial where they're clapping down the road in the car anymore because of issues as well.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Franchised auto dealers polled by Cox Automotive in the first quarter perceived no improvement in their markets, but no worsening conditions either. However, those polled continued to show the sourest sentiment since the heart of the COVID pandemic-19 pandemic in the U.S. as growing inventory shrank profits and interest rates and other economic factors weighed on customers. 650 dealers were surveyed by Kerrigan Advisors to gauge their sentiment on the future value of their business, growth plans, earnings expectations, as well as perceptions on franchise values and their trust levels in the manufacturers.
Wow.
The market feels very tight right now, according to Kia dealer in the Midwest. Consumers are unsure about buying. Everyone has the same inventory, and there's much more hesitation to buy than what we'd seen throughout COVID. The survey polled dealers from January 30th to February 13th and received responses from 546 franchise dealers and 472 independents.
Huh.
So the car dealers themselves are going, it ain't working for us.
Nope.
Hope it's working for you.
And they're in to make money, and if they're not making money, why do it?
There's that. And there have been some large groups that have sold recently, not here in Texas, but around the country. A couple of them, 6 manufactured type vehicles, different dealerships within the groups. And so I think people are going, we're getting out.
Yeah.
I look at it like the electric vehicle thing. Remember, I believe that it was it Cadillac and Ford both said, you're going to have to upgrade your dealership to accept and service electric vehicles.
General Motors.
And spend all of this money in your service department, or you're out.
Yeah, no more.
You can't sell EVs, and you're being downgraded and blah blah blah.
Yep. You can pull your franchisees license.
I guess, and then a lot of dealers said, "Okay, well here we'll take your buyout," and they're out.
Yeah.
Close the door, lock the door.
Stick them with the inventory.
Yeah.
You can't sell them if you don't have a place to do that.
And the other interesting thing that Mars and I are currently dealing with is apparently there is a shortage of vehicles at one of our press vehicle suppliers.
Oh.
And neither he nor I can get press vehicles from them.
Wow.
And why is that? Well, this particular supplier handles General Motors and Stellantis vehicles, among others.
Okay.
Well, in the past, they used to have the most press vehicles in the GM fleet and the Stellantis fleet. Well, apparently they've all pulled back on the press fleets.
Well, look at it nationally, all the auto shows that they've pulled out of.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not having the Cadillac display at Houston
Or
Auto
Stellantis.
Show. Or Stellantis. Pulling out with the Ram and the Jeep displays.
Yeah, because that was a big square foot. They had a big footprint for both of those inside driving events.
Yeah. And they waited till the very last second to pull out.
Yep.
That's a shame. Let's see. All right. Time now for a quick break. Let's see. Where are we here?
Break.
Here we are. Today's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.